This post on Instagram with all those animations, and also this post on Facebook with the animation, and those two slideshows on TikTok were created automatically using this automation that I created inside n8n. And I also used a service, a newly integrated service for auto-publishing called Blotato. This is one of the easiest services that I have found that helps you to auto-publish your content. And today I'm going to show you how to create this automation, but not just publish your content automatically, but also create a human in the loop that allows you to ensure the quality of your images, videos, or posts overall. So as you can see right now on the screen, this is a Slack channel where I saw all the images and videos while they were created, and I could approve or regenerate them. For example, right here are the videos, for example, this one, and I also regenerated a few of them. This is what I will cover today in this video. I will also cover a few mistakes that I made during this implementation that I believe a lot of beginners will make, even though I'm not a beginner in n8n, but still it was not very obvious for me how to do that. Now let's start with the automation. I will not cover the first block in much detail, but what we do here is that we use two language models. The first one is the one that generates the story for us. What I decided to do is to create a sort of day of life of this person living in this world, and I described what I want to do. If you know a little bit about what is going on in AI and image generation world, then you know that VEO3, for example, works really well with JSON prompts. And that is also what I tried to do right here. I created a JSON prompt that says that this is a creative director, and then I provided it instructions. And I also decided to make it a little bit more interesting, to add current date to the agent so it knows what season it is and creates a day of life depending on the current season. I give this agent a description of characters of this universe, also instructed about what to use for inspiration. Then I give it a few examples of how of what type of activities it should take depending on the time of a day. Also, we generate quotes in each of those images. If you paid attention, you would have noticed that each image comes with a quote. I instruct this agent to generate a quote and also give it a few examples of the scenes. And the second language model is responsible for taking those scenes and converting them into text to image prompt. Let me go to executions and show you a few examples. Here is an example. The first agent created scene numbers, scene descriptions, and activities that the skeleton should do during that time of day. And then this agent converted those ideas into text to image prompt and also into text to video prompt. Now we are moving to the main part. So after we generated, and let me just click on execute workflow so you see what these two agents are able to produce. The first agent now created 6 scenes, and this agent created text to image prompts and also text to video prompts. And now what we want to achieve is that we want first to create an image. I use Qwen image model. In this case, I use it on Replicate. Replicate is the website where you can find a lot of image, text to image, image to image, and video models. Everything is there. So I found just for me that Qwen image in this case worked well. I first use it via UI here. I specified my prompt, and then I also added LoRa. So LoRa is a way to add consistent style to your images. And once I found what works there, I go to HTTP tab right here and I copy this. And this is what you need to send from the automation in order to create those images automatically. So if I go back, and obviously I will show you this block a little bit later, but this is what is responsible for generating images. and you can create a new node, new HTTP block. So you can go here, import CURL, copy this, and in one click, you will have all the details right here. But instead of using authorization right here, you can remove it and then go to authentication, generic credential types, pick header auth, and I already have my replicate account right here. But when you don't have it, you just add a new connection, add a name, and add your API key right here. This is how I use it. And obviously now, instead of this prompt, you would need to connect this to a previous block and take a prompt. For example, this one, depending on each scene. So how do you get prompt from each scene? If you take a look, now we have only one item. And if I connect it just like this, I want to take the first one. In order to use something from here, I need to switch this JSON to expression, and expression will allow me to reference some of those. But if I want to use this one, how do I then use the second one? You see, it says now data. So 0 is the first element of this collection. 1 is the second element of this collection. So we want to have an option to generate image for each of those. That's why we need to have this split out block that allows us to convert that one object into, in this case, it will be 6 objects. And if you don't know, you can click P to pin that data. And I will remove this and then execute this block. So you see that instead of one object, we now have 6 items. And now when we have those 6 items, we are able to generate an image for each of those. So this will be executed for each item. And if I just drag and drop it here, then I will have, like you see, this is item 0, this is item 1, item 2, and so on. And prompt changes. So it will be executed that many times, 6 times, with different prompts each time. And Replicate has this nice option to wait. So it will wait until the execution is complete, and you don't need to constantly check the status of your image generation. It will just output the data once it's ready. Now let's build it together, actually. I will pin this as well, and I don't want to have 6 items, so that's why I use a limit node, or let me show it to you. So there is this limit node that allows you to specify how many items you want to process, and for testing purposes, let's just use 1. And later you can use for testing just 1, and then you can remove this block. You can just click here to disable it, but for now it will be 1. And let's execute the node. It will generate an image. And now you have 1 item. Perfect. 1 item. If you take a look here, you see the input. This is what we requested. Then logs. Logs are empty. And then you have output, this image. Let's open it. This is the image. Wow. And this time it is, I would say that this is fine. It is not always the case. Sometimes the text is not rendered properly. So we want to validate it before we want to publish it somewhere. Let's say we want to publish this image on Instagram automatically, but what if the text was not correct? So we wanted to have a human in the loop step right now. If you type here human in the loop, no, you actually have this section human in the loop inside n8n. And if you click here, you will see there are many options. And let's go with Slack. It is probably one of the most convenient ways, just as Telegram or WhatsApp. Setting up this in Slack is quite easy when you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, it can be tricky. So let's also go back to Slack. You need actually to create a new app. I didn't find a way to trigger it from within Slack, so I just search for Slack, create an app, go to your apps. Why we need an app? We need an app because we want to see the images that were created inside this channel, and so something needs to send those images to this channel, and that something is a Slack bot. So we need to create a Slack bot. To create a Slack bot, we need to create a Slack app. So let's click on create a new app, create from scratch. I already have 3 n8n bots. Let's create an n8n content bot. Then I pick my workspace and create an app. Then here you need to give your app some permissions. Let's go to auth and permissions. To create your token, you need to create scopes. So this bot needs to have access to your channel. Let's add chat write, then chat write public. After you added those 2 scopes, you can install to your workspace, allow it, and now you see this auth token. Copy this token. We will need it inside n8n. Let's go here and create a new credential. And here you paste that API token. It is testing. That was successful. Okay, everything is successful. I will call it n8n content bot. Save it, close it. Now we have n8n content bot. And also you need to create a new channel where you want to see and approve those images. Let's create a new channel. The name can be any name. You need to copy it and then use it here inside your Slack message. By default, when you picked this send a message from human in the loop, it will have this operation send and wait for response. This is what makes it actually human in the loop. So we need to send this send message to a channel, or you can send it to user, and channel will be by name. I didn't find a way to get all the channels automatically, so I found that it works very well by name. And then the message, let's say approve or decline, and then you send here the output. Right now it is actually an array because you see those brackets. So you need to take the first item, and it says approve or decline. Instead of approve only, I would recommend you to do approve or disapprove. It will allow, let's say, when you disapprove, to regenerate an image once again with the same parameters. But if you now execute this step, let's send a message. In this case, it actually somehow sent the message to the content approvals. I didn't expect it actually, because you in general need to add this bot into the channel. So apparently chat write public makes it possible for this bot to message any channel where it is not a member. But if you only set that chat write, then you will need to add that bot into the channel. You can just type that n8n content bot and message it here or something, and it will be, you will be prompted to add them, so you can add them. And now that bot is a part of this channel, and so it can send messages even if this chat write public scope is not here. This is how you set it up, but obviously it's not all. So now I have an option to approve or regenerate, and let's click regenerate. You will be able to close this window, and if we go back here, you see what happens. So this block generated that approved false. What do you do in this case? In this case, you need to filter and see what the actual reply from the user is. So you would click and pick this approved state, then you pick Boolean and see if it is true or false. And let's say it is true, and then the second option by default will be false. So when it is approved, we can move on and generate the next image. To generate the next image, we actually have a loop here. Why we have a loop in the final version? This is an interesting question, because if right now, let me even show it to you. Let's say we have 2 items. Okay, we have 2 items, they will be processed in parallel. And let's run the execution. So now I got the first image to be approved or declined. This one looks good. Let's say I approve it. And what we see is that it did not try to send me the second image. What I found is that this send a message, specifically this send the wait for response. If we open it right now, it says that this action will run only once for the first input item, which means that if we pass 6 items, it will only wait for one approval and then it will discard the rest of the images. And that is why you need to have this loop over items. Okay, and once we covered that, so what happens when we approve? When we approve, we just move on. And when we disapprove, then we need to regenerate it. But if we just go back to regenerate and call this block again, it will expect that a JSON text to image prompt already has that same value. But if you look at the output, it has no JSON and text to image property right here, and you need to artificially add that property to the input of that block. I'm not sure if it is the best way or not, but I found that I can use just a set field and I can artificially create that same name. For example, if we here expect JSON and text to image prompt, I will copy this text to image prompt. I go here, I put that name right here, navigate back to this block and copy the initial prompt here. When I do this, I will be able to use that prompt and send it back to regenerate the image in a way that it has the same name, and so it will be able to regenerate it. The next step will be to upload those images to Blotato if we want to post them on TikTok. Why do we need this? Let me go back to Instagram and show you that, let's say we want to post slideshows on Instagram, and we are allowed to post both images and animated images, videos here. You can see videos, they are all fine, it works. On Facebook as well, you can post one single video, not a slideshow. And on TikTok, if you want to post a video, you can post only one video, but if you want to post multiple videos inside one slideshow, it is not allowed. The only way you can upload a slideshow is that you need to upload images. And here you see the images. For that reason, you need to upload those images first before you auto-publish them. And because of that, we need to go back and upload the image. It will depend on which platforms you decide to post your videos or images on. Videos probably are easier to post, and with images and slideshows, there are some nuances. And I want to say that Blotato is one of the easiest ways I found to post to different social media channels. This is my dev board, and I already connected 4 of my channels. So you are able to post your content automatically to all of those platforms that you see here, and also add more than one account. And they also recently added a new integration inside n8n. If you are on a self-hosted version, you can just click Blotato, and if it's not yet installed, you will be prompted to install it automatically. And this is the guide on how to install community nodes inside n8n. Even if you're on a cloud version, then you need to go to your cloud admin panel and allow installation of nodes and click that toggle, and then you will be able to do the same thing as I do here. And so when I click it, I have 2 actions. The first one is upload media. The second is create post. We will use create post later. And now we want to just upload media. So to upload media, use that node, and you can either upload it via a media URL, or you can use binary data. How to add your connection? If you go to Blotato, to your settings, there is an API tab, and here you can generate your key. I already have my key, so you just can copy your API key or generate it for the first time and copy it, and then you go here, click on not here, you will need to add new credential and just paste your API key right there. Let me now run this automation. I set a limit to 3 images, so we see how it works. Okay, we execute it, it will create 3 images. So the first one requires approval. Let's take a look. Looks fine. Let's approve. Approved. We will just wait a few seconds before it creates the second one. Okay, second one is already ready. Looks fine. Let's approve this. We can go back meanwhile and see how it works from there. So we uploaded 2 images and now the third image is also waiting for approval. And yeah, for example, here the text is not 100% correct. So let's regenerate this one, even though I like the overall image a lot. Let's click regenerate and see what happens. Regenerate, we go back. So it showed that the prompt was reset and now it generates a new image. And this is the new image. Now it has a much better text. You can read it, all good, the same composition. So see, it follows the prompt probably quite well. So the first one and the second one, they are very similar, just the text is rendered properly. So let's approve it. Let's go back. Okay, now it's uploading the image to Blotato. And if I open this one, you see that we take the URL from the previous block from generate an image. So generate an image, and this is the output, and we pick the first one because it is an array with those brackets. After that, your image is available at this URL, so it takes all of those nodes and outputs this image just uploaded to Blotato already. And after that, I use another set block. So I preserve the scene number because the next step will be to generate a video. To generate a video, we need to have an image. We will convert that image into video. And we also need to preserve the scene number. So later we can rearrange it. And we also need to have a text to video prompt that comes from the previous step. And as you can see here, we take scene number. So scene number comes from this block, so we keep it here. Then the image URL comes from the previous block, so we uploaded it to Blotato, and now we know that our image is hosted there. And text to image prompt comes again from that loop that we used, and those are the results. So one item, second item, third item. And when it's done, we start another loop to do absolutely the same with image to video instead of generating image from text. It has the identical flow. So we generate a video. For video generation, I again use replicate. I use this Seedance model. This is one of the examples. I used the image from the previous block, and I like this one a lot with 2 cats. After you are happy with your image to video results and your settings, you can go to HTTP, you can copy this block, and then you go back and you paste those parameters to an HTTP module. And right now the first video is generated, and I have a new request for approval. The video is not rendered right inside Slack. Maybe there is a setting that would allow me to do that, but I just click on OK. Wow, nice animation, right? So I will approve this one. Okay, now it is approved. Now it moves to the second one. After it is approved, I again upload the video and get the video back. Okay, the second video is ready. Let's take a look. Okay, quite nice. Let's approve this one. Let's take a look at the third video. I don't see any issues with it. Let's approve. So third video is approved. We have no more videos here. Then this one goes to done, and we start publishing the actual videos. What has just happened? We generated all the images, we approved all the images, and we also approved all videos manually. If we would have found something that were not correct, then we would have regenerated those videos and have the final set of videos that we can generate. Before they are posted, They will be actually in the same order, but just to make sure, I use this sort block that allows to reorder those scenes in the proper order using the scene number. And now we are ready to publish. Before we do publishing, we need to go to Blotato, to accounts, and make sure that you are logged in into your account. Then you click to just log in with Instagram and it will be connected. And for other medias, it is the same. Let me show you now the new post here. Okay, I like it. So this is what we have just created. I would say they all look super nice. And same, do we have it here? Let me refresh the page. Yes, it is here. This is an old page I used for my past entrepreneurship experience. I was selling those necklaces. But in Facebook, this automation only posts the first video. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook, so I don't know if it is possible to post carousels here or not. And finally, on TikTok, the third video should be here as well. Okay, and this is the slideshow. It will also automatically add the sound, and you have that option in Blotato. You can control it. Okay, nice. So how you do it? You just need to log in, and that's basically it. You can view the publish posts here. If you go to publish posts, you see them right here. Then failed posts are also available. One of my TikTok posts failed. I will cover this in a few moments. By the way, you can also schedule some of the posts. We will see it as well. Go back to our automation. What Blotato requires when you create, let's say you do a Blotato and then create a post. You pick your account, post, create, and you can pick all the platforms right here. So let's pick Instagram from list. It will list all your profiles. I created this new Mr. Bones life. Here you can add the caption. For this specific case, for captions, I use the quote from the first image. The quote is created by this creative director, so I just find the creative director here. And by the way, if you don't see all the items, you just need to go to JSON. Here to pick JSON, and then you will have this drop-down list. And I use this live reassuring quote. This is how I personally do it. You can create another LLM step, or you can ask your creative director to come up with those captions. For me, for this case, it works fine. And then for media URLs, you can just list your media with the comma between them. So I want to post a carousel. I have many videos in one array, and they are already in the proper format. So to do that, I use this summarize block, because when sort happens, I have 3 items, and now I want to have those videos listed with a comma between them. And to do that, n8n offers you this summarize block. You use summarize. Instead of count, you use concatenate field video, and then you can use, instead of comma, comma and space. This is exactly what I do right here. So video, comma and space, and I also put images just in case to concatenate the images, so I can post those images. That was my idea with TikTok. I wanted to just post images and thought that it will work. It did not. We will see why in a moment and how to fix it. After concatenation, we actually have just the format that Blotato requires. List of URLs with comma and space between them. You then can just create an Instagram profile and put those right here in media URL. After it is successfully submitted, you will get post submission ID, which means that your post has been successfully processed. Okay, I will remove those 2 things for now. And same for Facebook. I actually pass all the videos, but because Facebook can only render one, then it renders the first one. And what I like here is that you can pick your Facebook page, so you can post not on your main page. In my case, I post on my on my old business page. And here you can also set the schedule time. And by the way, you can use even parameters right here. For example, you can do now, and let's say you want to post 1 hour from now. You add this plus. So let's do 1, and then we say hour or hours. You need to be careful. I think hours. Let's do 1 days. Yes, and it's turned it to tomorrow, just so you know that it is also possible. For now, I will remove this option. We have posted to Instagram, to Facebook. You can post to all other social media channels that you have connected. You are not limited to only those that I covered. And now let's talk about TikTok. So I tried to post to TikTok. See, now we have those 3 to 4 ratio images. And when I tried to post them on TikTok, I got this error that unsupported picture size. TikTok rules is that you can only post 9 by 16, yes, ratio images. So how do you actually convert images that you have? Because if you want to post to multiple platforms, and Instagram supports 3 to 4 ratio, but for TikTok you need to have a different ratio, and there is a way out of it. And n8n has this resize block and working with image block, which allows you to do many operations. And first, to do that, we need to again iterate over all the images that we got and then resize them one by one. How would you do this? You search for image, edit image, and you can do just crop image. And crop image will work just fine. You can set 1080 by 1920, and then you need to have data here. What it means is that you first need to download that image. You would do just a typical GET request. This is HTTP request. You set the image, and you don't need any authentication or anything. You execute it, it will download the image. And then once your image is done okay, I will go back here to the execution. So let's take a look. This is the image, we downloaded it. This is the second image, and so on. So we download it, then we would edit image. But what I found is that, for example, in this case, if I resize it, there is no guarantee that my text will be still on that image after it is resized, after it's cropped. So what I found working, I add border to the top and then I resize it. I hope it makes sense. Let's take a look. So first I add that border, and if I open the image, it now has those borders at the top and at the bottom. And then I resize the image. So let's take a look. This was the input image, and this is the output image. And after that, I upload that new image to Blotato. And in this case, unlike in previous case where we had a URL, in this case, I have the actual image, the binary file for the image. That's why for upload to Blotato, we use binary data and input binary field called data. This is the name by default. And after I resize each image, I now can finally summarize, again, do that summarization, concatenate those URLs. And now I have all 3 new resized images inside one string. And finally, I can use that string to pass it to TikTok. You can set other parameters here. You can also add music, and you can set up schedule time. This is the whole automation. Thank you for watching. This is how you set up auto-publishing of your content to all the most popular platforms out there. I used human in the loop in this example because most of the time when AI creates your images or videos, you want to verify the output quality, but I can imagine that, for example, for content repurposing or for translation of your content to multiple languages and dubbing, then you will not need to have a human in the loop, and you can auto repurpose and auto publish it inside one automation without human in the loop, and it will help to make your life so much easier. I will link all the models and tools that I used within this automation in the description down below. I will also upload this automation to n8n marketplace, so you will be able to get it from there. And if you want to learn more about n8n and how to create production-ready systems and how to work with media, then message me on LinkedIn. I'm planning to run a cohort in October, so I will be very happy to learn about what you want to learn so that I can create it with your needs in mind. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.